shouldn't be surprised to find Lena Dunham at the foot of my bed, but I am. "Hi, Lena Dunham," I say. "Hi. Have you met my wife?" I ask. "Yes," she replies. Ivy rolls over sleepily. "I'm getting breakfast." Ivy brushes past Lena on her way to the closet. She grabs her robe and strides out like she's in too much of a hurry to bother putting it on. If any rudeness is implied, Lena doesn't seem to mind. She doesn't like getting up early, I explain. Lena smiles and bounces a little bit. I don't have a particularly bouncy bed, and it looks silly that she's trying to bounce on it. Her cheeks flush. "Have you seen Girls?" "Yes." "I'm in it." "Yes, I know," I say. "You're everywhere." "I kind of am," she says. "Do you have a favorite part?" "I think you're courageous to be so exposed about your depression," I say. "Your inner upheavals and literally being naked to prying, judgmental eyes." "Thank you," she beams. I don't tell her that I only watched the first season, and Lena looks gratified. Then just as quickly, sadness settles behind her eyes. We sit for a minute or two and listen to Ivy opening and closing kitchen cabinets downstairs. I sleep wearing underwear and a t-shirt, and the lower half of my body is still under the covers. And even though I've seen Lena Dunham put herself through countless humiliations, I feel uncomfortable at the thought of standing up. I imagine her thinking that my legs are too hairy. "How about I meet you downstairs?" I suggest. "Okay," she replies. Ivy's breakfast dishes have been put away. The kitchen is clean, but I can smell a mix of coffee and cantaloupe. Lena and Ivy are sitting across from each other at the kitchen table. I get the feeling that they were talking up until the second I could hear them. We have an antique cuckoo clock on our kitchen wall, and I wind it each morning. I open its glass front now and press the small key into a hole to the left of the 6. I turn twice without applying too much pressure because the mechanism breaks easily. When I replace the key, the clock chimes the quarter hour from a low bell. They're both watching me. Lena looks attentive. Ivy, careful that Lena doesn't see, mouths, "What the fuck?" "Would you like to eat anything?" I ask Lena. "I'm making eggs." "Oh," she says, "that'd be lovely." I can see her wonder about using the word lovely in casual conversation. "How do you like them?" "Runny, thanks. Can I help?" "No worries," I say. "I've got it. I like to work alone in the kitchen." Ivy gives her a look that says, "Don't even get me started." It takes 15 minutes for the untouched eggs to turn crusty and inedible on Lena's plate. It seems like an amazingly short period, unless that time is filled with awkward silence and chewing sounds. "How long are you staying?" I ask. "I read a story," she says. "Do you want to hear it?" "Why not?" I reply. "Someone bet Ernest Hemingway that he could write a novel in 6 words. "It's not true," Ivy says. "It's an urban legend." Lena doesn't hear her. "For sale. Baby shoes. Never worn." Ivy says, "I have to leave now." She does outreach for a major arts organization. She finds it stressful and she's out the door before I know it. At the end of the 3rd day, I ask Ivy, "Do you think she sleeps on the couch?" Ivy says she's getting in the way. When Lena is in the shower and Ivy is at work, I look for evidence that the sleeper sofa has been opened. I don't find any. At the end of the month, I wind the clock with a special key. It fits in a keyhole to the right of the 6. Ivy and I meet at the front door. When we walk into the living room, the television is on. It's a rerun of The Daily Show, and on screen, Lena Dunham is sitting across from Jon Stewart. "You were great in that interview," I say to her, "very likable." "Aw," she purrs without looking up, "you're sweet." If I were closer, I think she might have squeezed my arm. As I said, likable. Lena Dunham is drawing stars on her calf with a blue ballpoint pen that says Mondrian, Los Angeles. "Don't do that," Ivy says. Lena looks chastened. "She can do what she wants," I say. Ivy turns to me. "She's not a baby." Her words are like thought bubbles. "She's not a baby," I repeat slowly. We wait for the bubbles, glistening in rainbow swirls, to pop. When they seem to settle on the coffee table, Ivy looks at me. Her sudden eyes are fixed on mine. I think of the picture she has of herself as a little girl. The photograph is mostly out of focus like photographs were, but I recall trees behind her and there's a lake that she's lost the name of, and she wears a dress that she only remembers in pictures. The little girl Ivy, long before she was the woman I know, looks at the camera with those same eyes. It feels like the moment between when the stone slips and when your ankle feels the impact. Do you ever think of going to California? Ivy asks. Her voice, too, is a slipping stone. We can try again, I say. Her look is steady and pleading. We could go to Hollywood, Ivy continues. We could see the stars and live in a bungalow, and if we don't like it, we can just keep going. Yes, I say. Pop.